Okay, thank you. So what I would like to do today is to talk to you about automation and why you should be using it. But I'd like to put a bit further spin on that, and that I think it would be a great mistake for lawyers to just look at automation and to automate the way that you currently work without also looking at the wider business and changing most of the other areas of the way you work at the same time. So really obliterating the current business model. I think a lot of this actually ties in quite nicely with some of the stuff that's been talked about already in this conference. Tim Corcoran's session yesterday really talked about the need to tackle the entire ecosystem. And some of the stuff in the previous session actually touched on this as well. We all know that the amount of traditional churn work that law firms have got is decreasing. In-house legal teams are increasingly able to do the work themselves, or other providers are coming that can do it better than law firms. Automating the work that you currently do will help to reduce that, but it won't stop it. So there's a need to go out and find other areas of work that you can do, and different ways that you can do the work. And the good news is, I think there's lots out there, but it's just a question of being open-minded and curious and going out of there and trying to find what that stuff is. Everything should be looked at with fresh eyes to look for opportunities and upsides, rather than worrying about where the threats and the risks are. And the law firms that do this, I think they're going to do very well, and some are already starting to do very well. It's the ones that don't move that are putting themselves at risk. So for the agenda today, first I'd like to just cover off what do we mean by we're talking about automation, and then why we need it, because I think a lot of lawyers I talk to don't really understand just the extent of the stuff that's already out there that they could be using, something that was touched on a little bit in the last session as well, I think. And then when we have that context, we can then look at the need to use this technology and to use it more broadly and to really obliterate the current business model. And then we'll look at some practical steps in terms of how you could get started.